Ghana scored 43 out of a clean score of 100 and ranked 70 out of 180 countries and territories included in the Corruption Perception Index 2023 released today, 30th January 2024 by Transparency International. Now, this marks the fourth consecutive year of stagnation in Ghana's anti-corruption efforts as indicated by the CPI. Let's take you live to a roundtable discussion being organized by the Ghana Integrity Initiative, where they're giving a breakdown of the latest figures.
The Corruption Perception Index that was launched earlier today. I wish to extend JI's highest felicitations and gratitude to everyone gathered here for honoring our call despite your various tight schedules. Let me use this opportunity to also express JI's profound appreciation to our partner, TAG International, led here by Chris, who is sitting in front. We acknowledge your partnership. And if you have looked at the agenda, you would realize that Ghana Gold, a project that is led by TAG, is featured. That will be the part 2 of today's program. So thank you very much, Chris, and thank you to Florence and everyone for making this event possible. We are very much appreciative. Today's event provides a unique platform to citizens to interrogate the results of the CPI while preferring the best approaches to the fight against corruption. Indeed, JI sees this event as an opportunity to chart a different narrative for the fight against corruption. Madam Chief of Staff, the CPI for 2023 scored Ghana 43 out of a clean score of 100 and ranked 70th out of 180 countries and territories included in this year's index. In fact, the score has remained same since 2020. This, I must say, is worrying because an analysis of the data spanning 4 years for 6 African countries that had stagnated revealed that 67% of them, that's 4 out of 6, dropped in subsequent years after stagnating for such a long time. Madam Chief of Staff, distinguished ladies and gentlemen, the theme for this year's CPI launched is Corruption and Justice. According to Francois Vellarain, as the board chair of Transparency International, corruption will continue to thrive until justice systems can punish wrongdoing and keep governments in check. These words resonate with the core of our gathering today. As we delve into the Corruption Perception Index, it is imperative to acknowledge the profound impact of corruption on society. Permit me to also quote one of our famous African scholars, Professor Claude Lumumba, who said in 2015, and I quote, "Corruption is something that even the corrupt acknowledge that it is a bad thing. But the irony of the tragedy of corruption is that those who engage in corruption love it, and those who do not engage in it accommodate it." Ladies and gentlemen, corruption is an age-old phenomenon. In fact, some have indicated it is as old as Adam. Yet, the depth of which it has infiltrated every facet of our society is unparalleled. The consequences of corruption are evident, and needless deaths in our hospitals show. We see accidents on our roads on a daily basis as a result of shoddy roads which emanate from some of the contracting processes. We see galamsey remaining a relevant issue on our discourse because we have not fought the canker of corruption as we should. Madam Chief of Staff, distinguished ladies and gentlemen, I am confident that each one of us here deserves a shift in this narrative. We do not want to gather to talk about our woes and the inefficacy of our efforts. This gathering serves as a crucial moment to re-evaluate our approach and forge a new path forward. Our focus must be on key parameters and indicators that propel the fight against corruption in a positive light. And these are available in the various surveys and the indicators that are presented, which are used for the calculation of the CPI. Again, Professor Ade has aptly suggested that the fight against corruption is about leadership and it's also about the law, which we also agree to a very large extent that when leadership is strong and the laws are allowed to work, we would make the gains we need to. When the elements are effective, Ghana certainly and undoubtedly will be making great strides, and I am sure that the narrative would be different. On this note, on behalf of the board and members of the Ghana Integrity Initiative, and then on my own behalf, and on behalf of the management team, I wish to welcome you all to this roundtable discussion, even though it may not look round, but this is an engagement of equals where everyone's mind is very important, and we wish to capture very significant feedback which would shape the narrative, as I have mentioned before, going forward. It is my expectation that this meeting would generate some very practical steps which government, and I'm very sure Auntie Freba, the Chief of Staff, would pursue with government to implement, so that we would gather here next year to tell a different story.